recommending, or we think they're going to recommend bringing this in for a small group of men, maybe one in every 300 or 400.
Just a little trip to Brecon, just up to see how my sister is. So I'll just take you along the ride and show you just some of the scenery.
Who attacked and killed an 87-year-old man as he walked home with his shopping in North London has been jailed for at least.
I wish you could see this castle on the right now, but it's Craigenose Castle. Have a look. Research it, have a look. It's such a beautiful castle. Just passing it now on the right.
The government has defended its decision to scrap a pledge to protect workers against dismissal from day one in a job. But it says now plan to introduce the measure after 6 months.
Country Park.
Philipson insisted the government was still delivering the biggest upgrade to workers' right in a generation.
Dan Ogov show caves are just on the left by here. If you're ever in Wales, you've got to have a look at these. Climbing up these mountains now. On the right hand side is the mountain Bulk, which the film Zulu Dawn, part of that was recorded on this mountain. Just coming on top of this now, and hopefully now you'll be able to see Cray Reservoir. I've got the Radio 2 in the background. On the left down below there now is Cray Reservoir. See the reservoir now. It's quite full today. On the right, there's a road up here now on the right. If you take that and about 2 or 3 miles up the road, there's a big mountain, a disused quarry I think it is, but that's where I've been, well that's where I've done my training when I was 19, when I was in the Royal Signals. All part of the training grounds for the Senny Bridge camp, and of course Brecon Devon Lines. This is a village called Dyfynnog. the Tanner's Arms, which is straight ahead by there. My photo is still in there from when I was 18, and that's because we took part in the 24-hour darts competition. And on the right there's a brass rubbing shop. Well, they used to do brass rubbing and polishing and brass ornaments then. Somebody had broken off the BR, so it looked like the arse rubbing shop. That was on That's Life years and years ago. Anyway, this is the Vannog, and just coming up to Senny Bridge, where there's a massive army camp. It's starting to rain again. On the left hand side by here is Abercamlais, or Camlais Estate. When the lady who owned it years and years ago, when she passed away, must have been in 1990s when she passed away, and the place was put up for sale. There were rooms there within the building that hadn't been used or occupied for decades, maybe over 100 years. And in one of the rooms they found a painting from Constable. So there's a Constable painting hanging on the wall there, which was thought to have been forgotten. I'm sure that was the story. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what was going on at the time. Anyway, you can look it up. Straight ahead now is the Brecon Beacons. Should have pressed record earlier. But yeah, it's Brecon Beacons on a nice clear day. That's a beautiful view. Blaenau Brecon. We're just coming up to a little village now called Llanspydded. The church here is one of the oldest churches in Wales, and it's where my mother and brother are actually buried, and my uncle. The church is up for sale, but in this church, coming up by here, I think you can see it now, just up here now on the right. But in this church is the gravestone of King Brecon. Well, King Brecon was the king of Brecon, which is where Brecon got his name from, and he was actually from Ireland, and he had many children, and many of his children as well became saints. I think he had 20 odd children, but many of his children became saints, and Martha is one of them, and which is where the name Merthyr Tydfil came from. And there's also St Cato, which is the name of the church, St Illtyd, and many other churches around the area. This is where they all got the names from, which is King Brecon's children, and he was actually Irish. But there you are. We're actually bypassing Brecon at the moment, but I won't drive. I'll drive through Brecon coming back. As I need to get to my sister's at the moment. just coming up to the village where my sister lives, and on the left by here is where we get our venison from, a venison shop, Beacon's farm shop, and a lot of the hotels and everything, cafes, restaurants, most of them get their venison from there, from South Wales, that is. We're just coming up to the village now, and on a sunny day my sister's got the most remarkable views from her front. Oh, in the background again is Radio 2. You could see what I could see.
Part of that shift is the number of people heading in the opposite direction.
Beautiful views.
So this is the point. Obviously, net migration is people coming in, minus people going out, and an unusually large number of 693,000 people left the UK in that same period, a near record. Because the Office for National Statistics has broken down the immigration figures by age.
Sugarloaf straight ahead, which is Abergavenny Mountain.
Are young, so something like 2/3 of those leaving were under the age of 35. That is a size. What's that? 400,000. That's a sizable flow of young adults voting with their feet. It may be linked to like.
Pulling up now to my sister's.
Email vine@bbc.co.uk. Do include your phone number. WhatsApp us on 0802891.
Right, I'm on the way home now, and I don't know whether you just see, but a whole load of birds flying over and in waves. And it was wonderful.
On Mars for the first time after microphones picked up the sounds of electrical discharges, which were described by scientists as tiny zaps. Researchers say they think the small sparks happen all the time and everywhere on the Martian planet, where tiny dust particles form whirlwinds. Now here's the sport with Addy doing.
Thanks, Catherine. Cole Palmer has been declared fit to start for Chelsea against Arsenal this weekend after more than 2 months on the sidelines. The England forward hasn't played for the club since September, initially missing with a groin problem, according to the BBC. And that's the latest BBC News and Sport at 4 minutes past 4.
Addy, Catherine,
Just some of the views. Just left my sister's house now, so this is the views going back towards Brecon, and then back towards home. So yeah, beautiful areas. I'm going to come up to a house in a minute on the right hand side. If I could afford that house, I would bloody buy it. I love the house. I always have liked the house. See what you think now. See if you can see it. But I'm gonna hold you on record because of the views ahead of the Brecon beacons, and I'll stop you when I get to the roundabout, and then I'll add a bit on from last week, where I was driving towards Brecon from another location. The house is on the right hand side, and it looks like an oldie worldy house, and I love it. There's the house. go near. Let's see if we can come up to the views. Don't think we'll be able to see anything. It's a bit cloudy today. No, you can't see the views from this end here. So anyway, I'll stop here and add the part which I recorded last week. Just coming up to the Brecon beacons. You can hear the radio in the background. It's Radio 2. So I went for a little visit to visit my sister today. So I'm on the way back home. So you should be able to see the mountains of the Brecon beacons. It's a nice view from up here. The highest peak of the Brecon beacons is Brecon. The one next to it is Corndy. Just stunning view scenery. Driving into Brecon, so on the left hand side is the Breconshire and Monmouth Canal, and on the right is up in the back there, which is Derrin Lines, and of course it's where the Gurkha regiment is. Just driving up here now alongside the canal, which is on the left. Into Brecon. Up here there's a museum where all the artifacts from the Zulu War, and of course the Welsh Fusiliers was on the right hand side. My niece lives on the left just by here. Just by here my niece lives on the left, and on the right by there is where the army is and where the Welsh Fusiliers was, and also the Welsh Fusilier Museum. This is Brecon town. Of course, the Brecon Centre is one-way system, so I wouldn't be driving through the Brecon town itself. But where all those lights are, that's the Brecon town centre. And I'll be going on the left. Museum on the left. Gurkha Regiment restaurant Very nice in there, very, very nice. No alcohol though. Buildings up ahead was the convent and the convent school. A few friends used to go there. Of course, the convent church. On the left is the cinema, and of course no driveways through the centre of town for there. Now we're on the way out. Brecon Town Bridge. On the right, if you take that road, it leads you to the Brecon Castle and Castle Hotel. And of course, this is Landbase leading out to Brecon.